Let's get back to Melissa. The storm to Fox Weather. Melissa becomes a hurricane and is expected to rapidly intensify into a major hurricane by the end of this weekend. Melissa is now a Category 1 hurricane with winds of 75 miles per hour, slowly crawling in the Caribbean at just 1 mile per hour, moving up to the west-northwest. Now, this westward movement expected over the course of this weekend as it sits south of Jamaica, and then eventually we will see this turn to the northeast, unfortunately, with a direct landfall on the island of Jamaica. So here's the latest. That 2 o'clock advisory has come in. The biggest upgrade here is the fact that Melissa is now a hurricane. We have seen a slight pressure drop to 980, no change with the movement or speed, but it's those winds clocking up to 75 miles an hour is what's brought us into that hurricane threshold. From here on out, Melissa has that look, and it is going to continue to intensify. We have hurricane warnings up for the island of Jamaica. We have hurricane watches along with a tropical storm warning in effect for southern Haiti. And this is where those conditions are expected over the course of the next several days as the bands of Melissa work up towards Hispaniola. But Jamaica is where final preparations need to be finalized with what is called to be catastrophic impacts to the island. Flooding rain, landslides are expected as we get into the end of this weekend into early next week, with a landfall sometime Monday night into early Tuesday morning. So here's a look at the enhanced satellite, and we've been going through this throughout the afternoon, how it's beginning that look of an intensifying storm. You have the banding, the deep thunderstorm development, the blossom of that around the core of this system. So when we take a look at our visible satellite, you can just see the banding that I'm talking about, the venting that is now taking shape as Melissa has fought off the wind shear. The wind shear itself has lightened up and weakened, and now the storm is just sitting over incredibly warm waters, fueling the strengthening of the storm. But you slow down this system when we look at that visible satellite, there's the blossom of deep thunderstorms around the core of this storm that likely intensified us into hurricane strength. And from here on out, the possibility of a Category 5 is still on the table ahead of a landfall as we get into the early part of this week. So we will get an update to this forecast cone as we head into the later hours of the afternoon. Our next advisory expected around 5 o'clock Eastern time from the National Hurricane Center. As of the latest, no major changes in the track of this system. The timing, still expecting a landfall Monday night into Tuesday, and then we see Melissa weaken, influenced by that mountainous terrain, lifting up across eastern Cuba, through the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and then out into the southwestern Atlantic by the end of this upcoming week. But Melissa is now a hurricane.